Welcome back. Consumer goods prices may increase in October due to import inflation and increased business operating costs here in Malaysia, based on manufacturing industry by the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. However, the government assures that essential goods, especially subsidized items, will not experience a significant price surge this year. Now, the Minister of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living highlights that this applies to control items like sugar and then non-control items such as bottled cooking oil, which are closely monitored by the ministry. Now, to further this discussion on this particular matter, joining us via Skype right now is the President of the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Nivas Raghavan. Nivas, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the brief. Let's begin with this. Can you provide more details on the specific factors that have contributed to the potential significant rise in terms of it being in October this year in production and operating costs, and sort of that aligned with the KLSI CCI members since January?
Hi, thank you, Jessy, for the opportunity to give our view. Well, the factors that have actually contributed to the tremendous increase in the production and also operating costs. If you can see, for the past 2 years, there's an increase in the input costs for all the production and also industries in Malaysia, where it is mainly due to the disruption in the global value chain. As you know, Russian-Ukraine war has impacted a lot. Also, over here in Malaysia, the cost of labor and the recent hike of minimum wage last year have also contributed much, and the cost of utilities, and then the local transportation, and the increase in cost of raw materials, both locally and imported, has contributed a lot of factors. Most of the factors of all this have contributed to the tremendous hike of the production and also operating costs. And of all these, the main reason of all this is because of the weakening ringgit. As you can see, for the past 2 years, ringgit since January 2021, it was at 4.01, and today, yesterday, it was traded at 4.65, and last year, October, it has gone as low as 4.7. So these are all the factors that has actually contributed to the increase in the cost of production and operating costs of the industries and SMEs in Malaysia currently. It's undeniable fact, because globally there is a huge impact because of the Russian-Ukraine war. The countries are all using trading currencies of dollar, which is also undergoing some inflation in US, despite the rate of increase in the interest there. Jessy.
Right, but also the fact that the depreciation of the ringgit, that has also had an impact. Walk us through the direct relationship between currency depreciation and then increased expenses faced by businesses when they import goods.
Well, Jessy, if you see, we are a trading nation. We are trading in dollar, and at this point of time, from January till July, the dollar have depreciated. I mean, the ringgit has depreciated against the dollar at 5.5% year to date. And what we understand is Malaysia imports more than 50% of food products into Malaysia, and the finished goods, semi-finished goods, and also the raw material. And to bring all this into the country, we have the shipping costs, and all these are traded in USD. So Malaysian currencies and also the other currencies across this region are trading in USD mostly. So when we are dependent on this currency for trading, and when our currency depreciates quite tremendously against the US dollar, it definitely increases the import inflation, as I said earlier, because when we import more, we actually flow out of exchange a lot of ringgit against the dollar, you see. So that definitely actually contributes a lot of import inflation, and that actually cascaded back into the end user in Malaysia. So that is definitely a direct relationship, I would say.
Right. The KLSI CCI has also been keeping a keen eye on these movements. Do you have any data or insights to support some form of research in terms of the potential increasing of consumer goods and how this will affect purchasing power and affordability of the current or the general population?
Well, Jesse, what I would like to say again is, when the price of the goods go higher, the inflation goes higher, the purchasing power reduces. So that is normally how the dynamic works. And you require more money to buy the same goods and services. So in our engagement and our analysis, we understand that the impact of exponential increase in price, it definitely affects the purchasing power and the affordability if the wage growth did not move in tandem. This is in line with basic economics actually, where the real wages will decline when the currency price increase more and more than the wages. So the Department of Statistics have actually came up with a survey in 2001, and it says that the monthly salary and wages median salary declined 8.53% from 2,442 to 2,250 in 2021. So in the same period, during that survey by the Department of Statistics of Malaysia, the consumer price index and the producer price index have increased 1.3% and 6.2% respectively. So from this data itself, it suggests that the real wages in Malaysia is in the declining trend. So it is not on the upline, uprising trend. So this actually impacts our purchasing power and affordability of the general population of Malaysia, where it is 40.
Well, we have heard the basically the fact or the statement by the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, and that basically assures us that the prices of essential goods, which includes subsidized items, will not see an extreme rise this year. What is your opinion on that?
Well, the government only subsidizes a selected food products. Not all are actually subsidized by the government because of the capacity of the government and also the direction of the government where it actually puts its money. But most importantly, we should understand that the market forces, the supply and demand dynamics actually prevails end of the day. So when the Malaysian currency depreciates significantly against the dollar, and our import is dependent, our food import actually dependent, more than 55% we are importing the local food. So what we should do is we should actually try to domestically produce, and we should focus more domestically and for our raw material sourcing and everything, so that we can contain the price. So the government subsidizing the selected items and the remaining items that is based on the market forces may actually impact end of the day the household and also the purchasing power. So
right, I was just about to highlight that obviously price hikes will have a cascading effect onto businesses and households, individuals, and the B40 group obviously will be the most vulnerable or the most impacted by this. In your opinion, would the M40 group be able to embrace themselves and hold a stand from falling into the B40 category? There's a lot of conversation about the fact that the B40 is now moving to a B60 because it is a category that is widening at this point.
Well, at this point of time, we are still having an ongoing debate about the accuracy and the appropriateness of actually categorizing the M40 and B40 salary range because of the past 3 years, the global effect of the COVID-19 actually impacted a lot of M40 and T20, then they have slided down to M40 and B40. So at this point of time, as you understand, M40 is the largest economic contributor that receives less focus from the government. I think the government should focus more, and the anticipated price increases will definitely impact the vulnerable B40, which is more significantly there. So I believe that the M40 group may be able to withstand the price increases depending on the factors like their income levels, savings, and also consumption adjustments. But if you notice, the B40 will be the most impacted.
Thank you so much, Nivas Raghavan, there, the President of the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for your insight on this matter. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. We'll check in with you soon.